Hey, movie nerds! Today, we're stepping into Isang Bala Ka Lang Part 2, a 1996 action-packed Filipino film that dives headfirst into themes of loyalty, vengeance, and the blurred lines between justice and revenge. A story that asks us to look deeper, to question, and to feel beyond the surface. I'm glad you're here, because together we'll unravel the hidden layers, the subtle details, and the little moments that whisper the heart of the film. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Let's keep exploring these stories that shape how we see the world. Now, settle in, open your mind, and let's dive into the depths of this cinematic journey. The film picks up the pulse where the first left off, thrusting us into a world where every choice is sharp, every breath laden with tension. It's the kind of story where a single bullet can change destinies, shatter bonds, and set loose storms of retribution. From the opening scenes, we're plunged into a gritty landscape, streets echoing with whispered secrets, alliances forged in blood, and characters who wear their scars like armor. It's not just about fists and gunfire, it's about the weight of history, the cost of survival, and the unspoken codes that govern lives on the edge. The narrative pulses with relentless energy, drawing us into a tangled web of betrayal and loyalty. At its center is a protagonist whose resolve is tested again and again, caught between a burning desire to protect what remains of his world and the shadows of past mistakes that threaten to consume him. The story unfolds like a high-stakes game of chess, where every move is fraught with peril, and trust is as scarce as mercy. Each scene ratchets the tension higher, weaving a tapestry of conflict that's as emotionally charged as it is visually striking. As the plot accelerates, new players enter the fray, figures from the past whose motives are as mysterious as they are dangerous. Their arrival forces old wounds open and ignites fierce confrontations that ripple through the lives of everyone involved. The film masterfully balances explosive action sequences with quieter moments of reflection and moral reckoning, allowing characters and viewers alike to catch their breath amid the chaos. This interplay creates a rhythm that carries us through the story's twists and turns with a heartbeat that's both urgent and nuanced. Key elements punctuate the film's tapestry: moments of brutal combat where every bullet feels like a question asked and answered, scenes of uneasy alliances that blur the line between friend and foe, and an undercurrent of sacrifice and redemption that lends the narrative profound emotional depth. The cinematography captures these shifts with a sharp eye, close-ups that reveal flickers of doubt and determination, wide shots that place characters within unforgiving urban landscapes, and carefully framed compositions that underscore themes of isolation and connection. Among the major twists that keep audiences on the edge is the revelation of hidden betrayals, secrets that reshape relationships and redefine motivations. These surprises aren't thrown in for mere shock value, they're woven into the fabric of the story, emerging organically from the characters' histories and choices. The unfolding drama challenges perceptions, forcing us to reconsider what we thought we knew and to grapple with the moral ambiguities at play. Beneath the surface of violence and intrigue lies a meditation on resilience, the human capacity to endure loss and betrayal, to fight not just for survival but for a glimmer of hope in a fractured world. The characters' journeys are marked by moments of vulnerability that remind us of their humanity amid the chaos. It's these glimpses, stolen conversations, hesitant gestures, shared pain, that give the film its emotional resonance and make its action all the more impactful. The soundtrack pulses with intensity, matching the film's shifting moods. From driving beats that propel chase scenes to haunting melodies underscoring moments of quiet despair, the music weaves seamlessly with the visuals, deepening immersion and heightening emotional stakes. Sound design further amplifies the atmosphere. Gunshots echo with sharp clarity, footsteps fall heavy on cracked pavement, and ambient city noises create a living, breathing world. This film doesn't just tell a story, it invites us to inhabit a world where the line between right and wrong blurs under the weight of circumstance, and where every decision carries echoes that ripple through time. It's a narrative that refuses easy answers, instead asking us to wrestle with the messy realities of loyalty, justice, and the human cost of vengeance. For those ready to step into a world where every bullet counts and every choice shapes destiny, this film promises an exhilarating, emotionally charged experience. Its blend of relentless action and thoughtful storytelling ensures that it's not just seen but felt, lingering in the mind long after the credits roll. So, buckle up for a journey through shadows and fire, where the past never truly fades and the fight for the future is as personal as it is perilous. The story opens in the smoky haze of a city where danger lurks beneath every corner, and the weight of past conflicts hangs heavy in the air like a persistent fog. Our protagonist steps back into a world marked by betrayal and broken promises, a world where loyalty is a currency more precious and more fragile than gold. The years since the last chapter have hardened him, etching lines of resolve and regret across his face. But beneath that steely exterior lies a man pulled taut between duty and vengeance, haunted by ghosts that refuse to stay buried. From the very first scenes, the tension is palpable. The streets are alive with whispered conversations, coded messages, and the subtle shifts of power that mark a city on edge. Our lead moves through this landscape with cautious determination, aware that every step might trigger a cascade of violence or betrayal. He is a man who knows too well the cost of trust and the price of revenge, carrying both like a shadow that trails his every move. An early encounter sets the tone for what is to come, a confrontation charged with barely contained fury and unspoken history. The protagonist crosses paths with figures from his past, former allies who have become enemies, rivals hungry to reclaim lost territory, and innocent lives caught in the crossfire of a war that never truly ended. These meetings are electric with tension, a complex dance of power, suspicion, and fleeting camaraderie that leaves no one untouched. As the narrative unfolds, new threats emerge, shadowy forces whose reach extends deep into the city's underbelly. These adversaries are not mere thugs or faceless criminals, they are cunning strategists, wielding influence and violence with calculated precision. Their arrival signals a shift in the balance of power, forcing the protagonist to navigate a labyrinth of danger that tests his physical skill and moral compass alike. Amid the chaos, moments of unexpected tenderness and loyalty shine through, reminding us that even in the darkest places, humanity persists. The relationships that anchor the protagonist, family, friends, and unlikely allies, are fraught with complexity, reflecting the scars of past wounds and the hope for redemption. These connections offer glimpses of light, brief respites where trust is rebuilt and motivations revealed. Key events accelerate the pace. A daring rescue unfolds in a crumbling warehouse, where gunfire and shadows collide in a ballet of survival. The stakes rise when a betrayal shatters fragile alliances, forcing the protagonist to reassess who can be trusted and what sacrifices must be made. The tension mounts as a covert operation threatens to expose secrets that could topple the fragile order sustaining the city's balance. Throughout these sequences, the film masterfully interweaves high-octane action with quieter moments of introspection. We see the protagonist grapple with his own demons, the weight of past mistakes, the burden of responsibility, and the longing for a future unshackled by violence. These internal conflicts deepen his character, transforming him from a mere action hero into a figure of tragic complexity. Visually, the film captures this world with stark realism and atmospheric detail. Rain-slicked streets glisten under flickering neon signs, alleys echo with distant sirens, and shadowed interiors hum with latent menace. The cinematography employs a palette of muted tones punctuated by bursts of color, flashes of red in gunfire, the cold blue of moonlight, that underscore emotional beats and heighten suspense. The protagonist's journey takes him through a series of escalating confrontations, each revealing new facets of the city's fractured power structure. Encounters with rival factions, corrupt officials, and mercenaries test his resolve and ingenuity. Tactical retreats give way to bold offensives, as he fights not just for survival but for a chance to reclaim his place and protect those he cares about. Alongside the physical battles, the narrative delves into the murky ethics of vengeance and justice. The protagonist confronts questions without easy answers. How far is he willing to go? What lines will he cross, and at what cost? These moral quandaries are woven into the plot's fabric, adding layers of tension that resonate beyond the immediate conflict. A particularly gripping sequence involves an ambush set in a dilapidated industrial district, where shadows and smoke conceal deadly intent. The choreography of this scene combines raw brutality with strategic precision, showcasing the protagonist's skills and the high stakes of his mission. The aftermath reverberates emotionally, deepening the narrative's sense of peril and loss. Amid these trials, the protagonist receives unexpected aid, from a mysterious figure whose motivations remain unclear. This alliance introduces new dynamics and raises questions about loyalty, trust, and the possibility of change. Their interactions are charged with ambiguity, blending cooperation with undercurrents of suspicion. As the first part of the story progresses, the stakes escalate toward a reckoning. The protagonist uncovers a conspiracy that threatens not only his immediate circle but the very fabric of the city. Secrets long buried begin to surface, alliances fracture, and the lines between friend and foe blur. This mounting tension sets the stage for a confrontation that promises to be as personal as it is explosive. Throughout, the film balances kinetic energy with emotional depth. Action sequences pulse with urgency and grit, while quieter moments invite reflection on loss, loyalty, and the cost of survival. This interplay crafts a narrative that is as engaging intellectually as it is thrilling visually. The first half concludes on a note of suspense and uncertainty. The protagonist stands at a crossroads, armed with knowledge and determination but surrounded by enemies both visible and hidden. The city's fate hangs in the balance, and the path forward is shrouded in danger and moral ambiguity. In sum, the opening acts of this story draw viewers into a richly textured world, where every shadow hides a story, every alliance carries risk, and every bullet fired echoes with the weight of past choices. It is a narrative that invites us not only to witness the unfolding drama but to feel its pulse, to grapple with its questions, and to hold our breath in anticipation of what comes next. The story intensifies as the fragile threads holding the world together begin to unravel, thrusting our protagonist into a maelstrom of betrayal, revelation, and reckoning. The stakes, already high, surge to a fever pitch as hidden enemies emerge from the shadows, and the lines between ally and adversary blur beyond recognition. The city, a labyrinth of danger and deceit, becomes both battleground and crucible, a place where past sins are confronted and futures forged in fire. The tension escalates swiftly. A carefully orchestrated plan to dismantle the antagonist's grip on power falters when a trusted confidant reveals a darker agenda. This betrayal cuts deep, fracturing the protagonist's circle and forcing a desperate retreat. The sense of isolation becomes palpable, a man hunted not only by foes but by ghosts of trust shattered. Yet within this crucible, the protagonist's resilience shines through. Moments of quiet determination contrast with bursts of fierce resolve, painting a portrait of a warrior shaped by loss yet unyielding. Amid the chaos, revelations come to light that shift the narrative's axis. Secrets long buried, hidden alliances, covert operations, and personal vendettas surface with explosive consequences. One such twist unveils the true architect behind the city's turmoil, a figure whose manipulations have orchestrated conflict from afar. This revelation reframes the struggle, expanding the battlefield from streets to corridors of power, and complicating the moral landscape with shades of manipulation and sacrifice. The protagonist's response to these truths is complex. Torn between vengeance and justice, between destruction and redemption, he grapples with choices that will define not only his fate but the fate of those entwined with him. The narrative delves into these internal conflicts with nuance, allowing moments of vulnerability amid the storm. These scenes humanize the hero, grounding the spectacle in emotional authenticity. Key sequences unfold with gripping intensity. A daring infiltration into the antagonist's stronghold showcases a blend of tactical precision and raw grit. The choreography of this assault is both brutal and elegant, reflecting the protagonist's evolution from reactive survivor to strategic force. This operation is fraught with peril and sacrifice, underscoring the high cost of confronting entrenched power. Simultaneously, the story explores the personal toll of the conflict. Relationships strained by suspicion and trauma are tested anew. Characters confront past grievances and unspoken fears, their interactions layered with tension and longing. These moments of connection provide emotional anchors amid the chaos, reminding viewers of the human stakes beneath the violence. The antagonist's arc reaches a crescendo as motivations are unveiled, rooted in loss, ambition, and twisted ideals. His confrontations with the protagonist are charged with electric tension, blending physical combat with psychological warfare. The film refrains from painting this figure as a mere villain. Instead, it presents a multifaceted adversary whose convictions, however warped, stem from deeply felt pain. This complexity enriches the conflict, elevating it beyond binary good versus evil. In a dramatic turning point, an unexpected alliance forms between former enemies, united by a shared goal that transcends personal vendettas. This coalition introduces new dynamics and raises questions about trust and sacrifice. The protagonists navigate these delicate partnerships with cautious optimism, knowing that betrayal lurks even in solidarity. As the narrative hurtles toward its climax, action sequences grow ever more elaborate and impactful. Explosive confrontations across rooftops, shadowed alleys, and derelict buildings intertwine with quieter moments of strategy and reflection. The cinematography captures these shifts with dynamic camera movements and atmospheric lighting, amplifying the stakes and emotional weight. The climax itself is a tour de force of storytelling and spectacle. The protagonist confronts the antagonist in a showdown that is as much about ideology and pain as it is about survival. The battle unfolds with visceral intensity, each strike carrying symbolic meaning, each maneuver reflecting inner turmoil. The setting, a crumbling monument to a fractured city, serves as a powerful backdrop, embodying the themes of decay and hope. In this crucible, sacrifices are made. Characters face choices that underscore the narrative's moral complexity, rejecting simplistic resolutions in favor of ambiguity and consequence. The protagonist's journey culminates in a moment of reckoning, where the cost of vengeance is weighed against the promise of redemption. The resolution provides closure while leaving room for reflection. The city begins to heal, tentative and fragile, shaped by the scars of conflict and the resilience of those who survived. Relationships mended or transformed hint at new beginnings amid the ruins. The protagonist emerges changed, not unscathed but wiser, tempered by loss and hope intertwined. Throughout this latter part, the film maintains a delicate balance between adrenaline-fueled action and emotional resonance. The editing crafts a rhythm that carries viewers through chaos and calm, weaving narrative threads with clarity and impact. Sound design and score intensify the experience, rising with tension, falling into intimacy, guiding emotional currents with subtlety and power. Symbolism persists, enriching the narrative layers. Light breaking through darkness, water cleansing wounds, and shattered reflections speaking to fractured identities all underscore the themes of transformation and reconciliation. These motifs invite viewers to look beyond the surface, engaging with the story on multiple levels. In the end, the film delivers not just a thrilling conclusion but a meditation on the human condition, on the costs of conflict, the complexity of justice, and the enduring hope for connection. It challenges audiences to hold contradictions, to embrace ambiguity, and to find strength in resilience. This powerful culmination leaves a lasting imprint, transforming a tale of violence and survival into a profound exploration of identity, loyalty, and redemption. It invites us to carry its questions forward, to reflect on the shadows and light within ourselves, and to recognize that every journey toward healing begins in the heart of the storm. Within the tumultuous world of this story, the characters emerge as more than mere players in a high-stakes game of survival and revenge. They are complex beings shaped by history, desire, and pain, each carrying burdens and secrets that drive the narrative forward. To understand this film is to delve deeply into the souls of these individuals, whose struggles with identity, loyalty, and morality mirror the fractured city around them. Their journeys are interwoven, rich with contradictions and transformations, creating a tapestry of human experience that transcends the violence and action. The center stands the protagonist, a man forged in fire and shadow. Hardened by loss yet driven by a lingering hope, he embodies the paradox of strength and vulnerability. His physical presence commands attention, yet it is his internal conflicts that give the character profound depth. Haunted by mistakes of the past and the heavy weight of responsibility, he navigates a world where trust is scarce and every decision carries fatal consequences. His interactions reveal a man torn between the desire for redemption and the corrosive pull of vengeance. This duality defines much of his arc. On one hand, he is a fierce warrior, capable of tactical brilliance and raw brutality. On the other, he is a vulnerable human being yearning for connection and peace. Moments of tenderness, whether in fleeting exchanges with loved ones or quiet reflections amid chaos, reveal the emotional core beneath the hardened exterior. His evolution throughout the story is a journey toward reconciling these conflicting selves, a process marked by sacrifice, self-discovery, and painful growth. Supporting him are allies whose complexities enrich the narrative fabric. Each character carries their own scars and motivations, reflecting diverse responses to trauma and survival. Among them is a trusted confidant whose loyalty is tested by shifting allegiances and hidden agendas. This figure embodies the tension between friendship and self-interest, challenging notions of trust and betrayal. Their dynamic with the protagonist is layered with history and emotional nuance, oscillating between solidarity and suspicion. A key female character adds further depth, serving as both a moral compass and emotional anchor. Her strength lies not only in physical prowess but in empathy and resilience. She navigates the dangerous landscape with a blend of pragmatism and hope, offering glimpses of healing and possibility. Her relationship with the protagonist is charged with complexity, marked by shared pain, unspoken regrets, and a tentative desire for connection that humanizes both. The antagonist stands as a compelling foil. More than a mere embodiment of evil, he is a character shaped by loss, ambition, and twisted ideals. His motivations are deeply personal, rooted in a desire for power as a means of control and revenge. His presence challenges the protagonist not only physically but philosophically, raising questions about the nature of justice and the cost of obsession. Portrayed with intensity and nuance, this adversary commands attention as a tragic figure whose downfall is both inevitable and poignant. Other characters populate the narrative with a spectrum of roles: informants, mercenaries, family members, each adding texture and complexity. Their interactions reveal the intricate social web binding the story, highlighting themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the blurred lines between right and wrong. These figures often embody the consequences of the central conflict on ordinary lives, grounding the story's epic scale in personal stakes. The characters' development is intricately tied to the film's exploration of identity and transformation. Many grapple with fragmented selves, shaped by trauma, divided by loyalty, and struggling for coherence amid chaos. This theme manifests visually and narratively, with characters facing moments of revelation and crisis that force re-evaluation of who they are and what they stand for. Their journeys are marked by change, sometimes painful, sometimes redemptive, reflecting the film's meditation on the fluidity of identity. Relationships among characters are fraught with tension and affection, betrayal and forgiveness. These dynamics drive much of the emotional narrative, revealing how connection and conflict intertwine. Moments of reconciliation are as charged as confrontations, underscoring the precarious balance between hope and despair. The film treats these relationships with care, allowing them to unfold with authenticity and complexity. Physicality and performance deepen character portrayal. The protagonist's movements, measured, precise, sometimes explosive, reflect his internal state, while subtle gestures convey unspoken emotions. Supporting actors employ a range of expressions and body language to reveal layered motivations and vulnerabilities. The choreography of fight scenes and quiet moments alike serves as a form of storytelling, communicating character evolution beyond dialogue. Symbolism enriches character arcs. The protagonist's scars, for instance, serve as reminders of past battles and personal cost, while objects like family keepsakes or worn weapons carry emotional weight. Visual motifs, reflections, shadows, light, are used to underscore themes of duality and revelation within characters. These elements invite viewers to engage more deeply, interpreting nuances that add richness to the narrative. The antagonist's portrayal avoids caricature, instead embracing moral ambiguity. His actions, while destructive, stem from a worldview shaped by pain and survival instincts. This complexity invites empathy without excusing cruelty, challenging viewers to grapple with uncomfortable truths about power and loss. His interactions with other characters reveal the fragility beneath menace, adding dramatic tension and thematic depth. Throughout the film, characters confront ethical dilemmas that force difficult choices. These moments highlight the narrative's refusal to offer easy answers, instead presenting a world where right and wrong are often intertwined. The consequences of decisions resonate across relationships and plotlines, emphasizing the interconnectedness of personal and social struggles. The conclusion of the story brings transformation. Some characters find redemption, others face downfall, and many are left changed irrevocably. The protagonist's final state reflects the journey's toll and the possibility of new beginnings, tempered by memory and loss. This resolution offers emotional satisfaction while maintaining thematic complexity. In essence, the characters are the soul of the film, their struggles and triumphs embodying the story's core themes. Their rich inner lives, portrayed with nuance and depth, elevate the narrative beyond genre conventions into a powerful exploration of human resilience and identity. Through their journeys, we are invited to confront our own contradictions, to understand the costs of loyalty and vengeance, and to find hope amid shadow and strife. The story behind the making of this film is as compelling and layered as the narrative itself, a rich tapestry woven with moments of serendipity, unexpected challenges, and creative ingenuity that often defy the conventional tales of movie productions. Behind the scenes, where the artistry meets reality, a host of fascinating, and sometimes downright strange, facts emerged, casting light on the complexities and quirks that shape the final product in ways the audience never imagined. One of the most intriguing aspects of the production was the film's commitment to shooting in authentic locations, lending a gritty realism that permeates the story's atmosphere. The choice to film extensively on the streets and alleys of a bustling city brought with it a host of surprises. On one memorable day, the crew was filming an intense chase scene when an unplanned street parade suddenly swept through the area, creating an impromptu carnival atmosphere that was initially a logistical nightmare. Yet, rather than halt production, the director embraced this chaos, weaving the parade's vibrant colors and sounds into the scene, adding an unplanned layer of texture and energy that heightened the narrative's sense of unpredictability. Another unusual occurrence involved the weather, a near-constant challenge that tested the patience and adaptability of the cast and crew. During a critical outdoor shoot set in a fog-laden industrial district, unexpected heavy rains soaked the set, threatening to delay the schedule. Instead, the director seized the opportunity, incorporating the downpour into the scene's aesthetic. The resulting footage, drenched in rain and mist, heightened the film's themes of ambiguity and danger, proving that sometimes nature's interruptions can become creative inspirations. The lead actor's approach to the role added its own dimension of intrigue to the production. Known for his dedication and intensity, he opted for immersive preparation that included living briefly in an isolated location similar to his character's background. This retreat was designed to strip away distractions and delve into the emotional core of the character's turmoil. The actor's commitment was so thorough that he reportedly carried personal mementos tied to the character's history, blending reality and fiction in a way that enriched his performance. On set, his physical transformations were aided by a rigorous diet and training regimen that pushed him to extremes, lending authenticity to the character's toughness and vulnerability. Perhaps the most unexpected element of production was the innovative use of practical effects combined with emerging digital technologies. The special effects team experimented with novel materials to create realistic prosthetics and physical alterations that the camera could capture live, minimizing reliance on post-production CGI. This hybrid approach lent a tactile quality to the film's more visceral moments, allowing actors to interact more naturally with their environment and co-stars. One particularly inventive solution involved a custom-made lightweight gel that could mimic wounds and scars while allowing flexibility, a breakthrough that became a staple in key scenes. Voice work and sound design also contributed fascinating behind-the-scenes stories. The sound team employed unconventional techniques to create the film's distinctive audio landscape. For example, some ambient noises were sourced from recordings of urban wildlife and industrial machinery, then manipulated to produce eerie, unsettling effects that underscore moments of suspense. The voice actors often recorded their lines in isolated booths, experimenting with vocal inflections and tones that, after digital layering, created unique auditory signatures for characters. One anecdote recalls a particularly creative session where the lead actor and the voice actor for a shadowy figure recorded overlapping dialogue, leading to spontaneous interplay that was later woven into the film to add tension and texture. The set itself became a hub of creativity and camaraderie. Designed to reflect the film's themes of decay and resilience, the production design team sourced materials from abandoned factories and repurposed them into immersive environments. The texture of rusted metal, peeling paint, and cracked concrete added authenticity, creating spaces that felt both tangible and symbolic. The crew's interaction with these spaces sometimes sparked spontaneous moments, like a late-night improvisation when an unexpected power outage forced the cast and crew to rely on flashlights, turning a rehearsal into an atmospheric experience that influenced the mood of subsequent scenes. Behind the scenes, the cast forged strong bonds that translated into compelling on-screen chemistry. Between takes, actors would share stories, rehearse lines, and sometimes engage in playful competitions that lightened the mood during intense shooting days. The director encouraged this spirit, believing that trust and connection off-camera deepen the emotional resonance on-screen. One charming story involves the lead actor teaching a complex fight choreography to supporting cast members during breaks, turning rehearsals into informal training sessions that became highlights of the production experience. Safety on set was a paramount concern, especially during the numerous action sequences that demanded physical stunts and intricate choreography. The stunt coordinators designed routines that balanced realism with actor safety, often requiring multiple rehearsals and contingency plans. On one occasion, a planned high-speed chase had to be recalibrated after a minor accident during rehearsal, leading to the innovative use of camera angles and editing to maintain intensity without risking injury. These adaptations reflect the production's commitment to artistry and professionalism. Marketing efforts revealed another layer of the film's unusual journey. To build anticipation, the promotional team launched interactive campaigns that allowed fans to explore virtual reconstructions of key settings, blending technology and storytelling. Early teasers played with fragmented narratives and enigmatic imagery, sparking speculation and discussion that amplified buzz. Behind-the-scenes documentaries and interviews were released alongside the film, offering audiences unprecedented access to the creative process and further enhancing engagement. Post-release, the film's reception sparked lively conversations and interpretations. Fans noted subtle details and symbolic elements that rewarded repeated viewings, turning the film into a cult favorite. Trivia about the production, such as the unexpected incorporation of the street parade or the innovative practical effects, became part of the lore shared among enthusiasts. Cast and crew appearances at conventions and panels further enriched this culture, sharing anecdotes and insights that deepened appreciation. Years later, retrospectives highlight the film as a milestone in blending practical craftsmanship with emerging digital tools, pioneering techniques that influenced subsequent productions. Interviews with creatives reveal how the challenges and serendipities of the shoot became lessons in adaptability and creative problem-solving. The production story stands as a testament to the unpredictable alchemy of filmmaking, where vision, circumstance, and human spirit collide to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Ultimately, the strangest facts and behind-the-scenes tales offer a window into the magic of cinema, the moments when planned and unplanned converge, when obstacles become opportunities, and when creativity flourishes amid uncertainty. They remind us that every film is a living entity, shaped by countless hands, hearts, and chance encounters, inviting us to look beyond the screen and into the human stories that make movie magic possible. The unfolding of the story is not merely a sequence of actions and confrontations but a layered exploration of human frailty, power, and moral ambiguity, inviting viewers to delve beneath the surface and engage with the profound tensions that define the film's world. Critical perspectives on key events reveal how the narrative operates on multiple levels, weaving emotional complexity with social commentary, and challenging conventional genre expectations to offer a richer cinematic experience. One of the earliest pivotal moments, the protagonist's return to a fractured cityscape, is loaded with symbolic weight. Critics have noted how this re-entry functions as more than plot progression. It serves as a metaphor for confronting unresolved trauma and the cyclical nature of violence. The protagonist's cautious navigation through familiar yet changed environments underscores themes of displacement and the search for identity amidst chaos. This scene's visual and narrative choices establish a tone of pervasive unease, setting the stage for the ethical and emotional dilemmas to come. The film's depiction of betrayal, a recurring motif, is treated with nuance and psychological depth. Rather than resorting to simplistic villainy, betrayals arise organically from complex character motivations, reflecting real-world tensions between loyalty, survival, and self-interest. Critical analyses highlight how these moments function as catalysts for character development and narrative twists, deepening the emotional stakes and complicating audience sympathies. The impact of betrayal resonates beyond the immediate plot, prompting reflections on trust, power dynamics, and the fragility of human connections. The rising conflict between factions, portrayed through intense confrontations and strategic maneuvers, has been interpreted as a microcosm of broader societal struggles. Scholars and critics point to the film's engagement with themes of systemic corruption, class conflict, and the collateral damage of power struggles. The gritty realism of these scenes, anchored in detailed production design and authentic performances, grounds the narrative's larger political and social implications, inviting viewers to consider the interplay between personal vendettas and structural violence. A particularly significant event, the ambush in the industrial district, has garnered attention for its layered storytelling. This sequence combines high-octane action with psychological tension, serving as a turning point that exposes character vulnerabilities and tests alliances. Critical readings emphasize the choreography's symbolic resonance. The labyrinthine setting mirrors characters' entrapment in cycles of violence and deception, while the interplay of light and shadow visualizes moral ambiguity. This scene's blend of spectacle and substance exemplifies the film's ability to engage audiences on multiple sensory and intellectual levels. The protagonist's internal struggle, manifested through moments of reflection and dialogue, has been a focal point of critical praise. These scenes elevate the film beyond action genre conventions, offering insights into themes of guilt, redemption, and resilience. Critics highlight how the film uses quiet, intimate moments to balance the external chaos, creating a narrative rhythm that mirrors the human experience of trauma and healing. The protagonist's evolution is portrayed with sensitivity, avoiding clichés and instead presenting a complex portrait of a man grappling with his past and uncertain future. The antagonist's characterization challenges traditional villain archetypes. Rather than a one-dimensional foil, he is portrayed with psychological depth and moral complexity. Critical discourse has explored how this figure embodies the seductive nature of power and the destructive consequences of obsession. His interactions with the protagonist serve as a dialectic, probing themes of justice, vengeance, and the cost of ambition. This nuanced portrayal complicates audience responses, encouraging empathy even amid condemnation. The film's use of symbolism throughout key events enriches thematic interpretations. Visual motifs such as shattered glass, recurring reflections, and water imagery serve as metaphors for fragmentation, self-examination, and transformation. Critical analyses emphasize how these symbols function narratively, reinforcing character arcs and underscoring emotional states. For example, sequences featuring rain or water often coincide with moments of cleansing or revelation, linking environmental elements to internal change. Sound design and musical scoring have been recognized for their integral role in shaping the film's atmosphere and emotional texture. Critics note how the layering of ambient city sounds with subtle musical cues amplifies tension and mood. The score's thematic motifs align with character journeys, enhancing narrative cohesion and viewer engagement. The interplay between silence and sound is used strategically to heighten suspense and focus attention on key moments, demonstrating sophisticated audio storytelling. Audience reception reflects the film's capacity to resonate on emotional and intellectual levels. Viewers have responded to the protagonist's complex humanity and the morally ambiguous world he inhabits, finding parallels with real-life struggles of loyalty, loss, and resilience. The film's refusal to offer neat resolutions or clear-cut heroes has sparked discussions and debates, fostering a dynamic relationship between text and audience. Fan interpretations often explore the layers of meaning embedded in pivotal scenes, highlighting the film's richness and depth. From a socio-cultural perspective, the film has been examined as a commentary on contemporary issues, such as urban decay, systemic injustice, and the cyclical nature of violence. Scholars appreciate how it situates personal stories within larger structural contexts, using genre conventions to probe pressing societal concerns. This engagement elevates the film beyond entertainment, positioning it as a work of cultural critique and reflection. The climactic confrontation has been analyzed for its synthesis of narrative, thematic, and aesthetic elements. Critics praise the choreography, emotional intensity, and symbolic resonance, noting how the sequence encapsulates the film's central tensions. The final exchanges between protagonist and antagonist crystallize themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the ambiguous nature of justice. The setting, a decaying monument surrounded by shadows, serves as a visual metaphor for the ruin and hope intertwined throughout the story. The resolution's openness has been a point of critical interest, inviting multiple interpretations and reflections. Rather than providing closure, the ending acknowledges the ongoing nature of the characters' struggles and the complexities of healing and change. This choice aligns with the film's commitment to realism and thematic depth, challenging audiences to carry forward its questions and tensions. In sum, the film's significant events function as more than narrative milestones. They are carefully crafted moments that explore human nature, societal dynamics, and moral complexity. Through layered storytelling, rich symbolism, and immersive aesthetics, the film invites viewers to engage deeply and reflectively, transforming a tale of conflict into a meditation on the human condition. Its critical impact lies in this fusion of genre excitement with thoughtful inquiry, offering a cinematic experience that is both gripping and intellectually rewarding. The film's legacy is marked by its ability to provoke discussion, evoke empathy, and challenge perceptions, securing its place as a compelling and meaningful work within contemporary cinema. The making of this film was a saga in itself, a journey marked by innovation, resilience, and unexpected moments that would later become the stuff of legend among cast and crew alike. Behind the polished frames and intense performances lies a rich story of collaboration, creativity, and challenges that shaped the final product in profound ways. The filmmaking process, as we soon discover, was as dynamic and layered as the narrative it brought to life. From the outset, the production team was determined to capture an authentic, immersive world. This vision required balancing the raw energy of action cinema with the emotional depth the story demanded. The director, known for his hands-on approach, insisted on shooting many scenes on location rather than relying solely on studio sets. This decision introduced both realism and complexity. Filming in actual urban environments, bustling streets, decrepit warehouses, and narrow alleys, immersed actors in tangible atmospheres but also required meticulous planning to manage crowds, noise, and logistical hurdles. One particularly memorable behind-the-scenes moment involved shooting a high-tension chase sequence through a busy market district. The streets were teeming with vendors and pedestrians, and coordinating the timing so that the scene could be filmed safely and effectively was a monumental task. Despite tight schedules and unexpected interruptions, the crew pulled off the sequence with remarkable fluidity. The ambient sounds of the market, calls of vendors, clatter of carts, snippets of conversation, were so vivid that many of these natural noises made it into the final cut, enhancing the scene's authenticity. The film's production design team played a crucial role in creating a world that felt both lived in and symbolic. They sourced materials from abandoned factories and warehouses, repurposing rusted metal, peeling paint, and cracked concrete into evocative sets that mirrored the film's themes of decay and resilience. One fascinating anecdote recounts how a particular set piece, an old industrial staircase, became the site of countless rehearsals and dramatic moments. Its creaking steps and grimy surfaces added texture that no amount of CGI could replicate. The design team's attention to detail extended to small touches, faded posters, discarded belongings, and subtle graffiti that told stories within stories. Practical effects were favored wherever possible, especially for the film's more visceral moments. Makeup artists and prosthetics teams experimented with innovative materials to simulate injuries, aging, and environmental wear on characters. They developed lightweight, flexible prosthetics that allowed actors to perform intense physical scenes without sacrificing comfort or realism. One production highlight involved creating a convincing gunshot wound effect that could be applied and removed rapidly between takes, a boon during extended shooting days. The film's action sequences demanded precise choreography and rigorous rehearsal. The stunt coordinators worked closely with actors and fight teams to design movements that balanced brutality with narrative clarity. Safety was paramount, yet the desire to capture visceral realism meant pushing boundaries. The lead actor performed many of his own stunts, a decision that elevated the authenticity of confrontations. However, this commitment came with risks. During one particularly challenging rooftop fight, a misstep led to a minor injury that delayed shooting but also strengthened camaraderie as the team rallied to support recovery. Visual effects were seamlessly integrated to enhance practical work without overshadowing it. The VFX team pioneered techniques to blend digital enhancements with live-action footage, creating fluid transitions and atmospheric effects. One area of innovation was the use of dynamic lighting and particle simulations to evoke mood and movement, such as swirling dust or flickering sparks during explosions. These effects were carefully calibrated to complement the film's gritty aesthetic rather than dominate it. Sound design was another area of remarkable creativity. Foley artists meticulously recreated every nuance, from the scrape of boots on concrete to the distant echo of sirens, crafting a sonic landscape that enveloped viewers. The team also incorporated unconventional sources, recordings of urban wildlife, mechanical hums, and manipulated human voices that added eerie layers to suspenseful scenes. The soundtrack's composition combined traditional instruments with electronic elements, mirroring the film's blend of grounded reality and heightened emotion. Behind the scenes, the production fostered a collaborative and often joyful atmosphere despite the intense subject matter. Cast and crew shared moments of levity, improvised jokes, spontaneous dance sessions, and storytelling circles that strengthened bonds and alleviated pressure. The director encouraged open dialogue, inviting input from all departments, which resulted in creative problem-solving and a shared sense of ownership. Several unexpected challenges tested the team's adaptability. Weather interruptions, technical malfunctions, and scheduling conflicts arose regularly. In one instance, a planned outdoor shoot was nearly cancelled due to a sudden storm. Instead, the crew adjusted lighting and camera setups to capture the rain-soaked scene, which added a haunting beauty and narrative depth unforeseen in the original plan. Such moments became emblematic of the production's resilience and inventiveness. Marketing the film involved innovative strategies that extended the storytelling beyond the screen. Interactive trailers teased plot mysteries without revealing key twists, and virtual reality experiences allowed fans to explore recreated film environments. These efforts not only built anticipation but also deepened audience engagement, bridging the gap between fiction and reality. Cast interviews and press events revealed the depth of preparation and emotional investment in the project. Actors discussed the physical and psychological demands of their roles, sharing insights into character motivations and the collaborative rehearsal process. Their reflections highlighted the film's balance of action and emotion, emphasizing its commitment to storytelling integrity. Years after release, retrospectives celebrate the film as a milestone in genre filmmaking. Its blend of practical artistry and digital innovation set new standards, inspiring subsequent productions. The anecdotes and behind-the-scenes stories continue to resonate, reminding audiences that filmmaking is a living, evolving craft shaped by human creativity and perseverance. In essence, the production's strangest facts and stories, its unplanned moments of genius, its logistical hurdles overcome with ingenuity, and its vibrant human connections, paint a vivid portrait of cinema as both art and adventure. These tales invite us to look beyond the screen, appreciating the intricate dance of vision, effort, and chance that brings unforgettable stories to life. The world in which this film unfolds is not merely a backdrop but a living, breathing entity that shapes every moment of the narrative. Its settings and cinematic elements work in tandem to immerse viewers in a universe that is at once familiar and charged with tension, a place where the environment echoes the characters' inner turmoil and the thematic undercurrents pulse beneath the surface. Exploring these facets reveals how carefully crafted spaces and visual storytelling converge to create an atmosphere that is as integral to the film's impact as its plot and performances. The urban landscape dominates much of the film's canvas, a sprawling cityscape that embodies both opportunity and decay. The filmmakers chose to shoot extensively in real neighborhoods, capturing the gritty textures of concrete walls, narrow alleyways, and bustling markets. This decision grounds the story in tangible reality, lending authenticity to scenes of pursuit, confrontation, and escape. Streets lined with flickering neon signs and weathered storefronts provide a kaleidoscope of light and shadow that visually mirrors the film's themes of moral ambiguity and survival. The city's architecture plays a subtle yet powerful role in shaping the film's mood. Crumbling facades and graffiti-strewn walls speak to neglect and resilience, while towering skyscrapers loom like indifferent sentinels over the struggles unfolding below. These contrasting elements underscore the divide between power and marginalization, reflecting the fractured social landscape the characters navigate. The camera lingers on details, the peeling paint, cracked pavement, rusted metal, that contribute to a textured, immersive environment. Beyond the urban sprawl, industrial zones provide stark, atmospheric settings for some of the film's most intense sequences. Abandoned factories, with their cavernous interiors and skeletal frameworks, evoke feelings of isolation and entrapment. These spaces, bathed in muted hues and punctuated by shafts of cold light, create a visual metaphor for decay and desolation. The filmmakers utilize these environments not just for their aesthetic appeal but to enhance narrative tension, placing characters in settings that reflect their internal conflicts and the dangers that surround them. Natural settings, though less prominent, serve as crucial counterpoints. Scenes set in overgrown lots, wooded areas, or rain-slicked streets introduce organic textures and dynamic lighting contrasts. These locations symbolize moments of refuge and vulnerability, offering characters and viewers a brief respite from the relentless urban pressure. The interplay between natural light filtering through trees and the artificial glow of city lights enriches the film's visual language, creating mood shifts that underscore emotional beats. Cinematography throughout the film is marked by a keen sensitivity to light, composition, and movement. The director of photography employs a palette that oscillates between stark realism and stylized expressionism. Scenes drenched in shadow use chiaroscuro techniques to heighten suspense and emphasize the moral complexities faced by characters. In contrast, moments of revelation or intimacy often feature softer lighting, creating warmth and a sense of fragile hope. Camera movement further shapes viewer engagement. Tracking shots follow characters through labyrinthine streets and claustrophobic interiors, creating a sense of immediacy and tension. Handheld cameras inject rawness during chaotic sequences, capturing visceral energy and unpredictability. Conversely, deliberate static shots provide space for reflection, allowing emotions and themes to settle and resonate. The cinematographer's mastery of depth of field isolates characters within crowded or empty spaces, visually articulating themes of alienation and connection. Color grading plays a pivotal role in defining tone. The film's palette is predominantly muted. Grays, blues, and earthy tones dominate, evoking a world weathered by conflict and hardship. Strategic bursts of color, fiery reds, vibrant yellows, punctuate key moments, drawing attention and symbolizing passion, violence, or transformation. This controlled use of color enhances narrative impact and guides emotional responses subtly but effectively. Production design extends beyond physical spaces to include props, costumes, and set dressing that reinforce the film's thematic fabric. Objects like worn leather jackets, battered weapons, and personal mementos carry narrative weight, revealing character backstories and emotional states. These tangible details create continuity and depth, making the world feel lived in and authentic. The juxtaposition of utilitarian urban with elements of vulnerability and care underscores the characters' complex identities. Lighting design is equally nuanced. Practical light sources, street lamps, neon signs, interior fixtures, are integrated into scenes to provide realism while contributing to atmosphere. The flicker of a faulty bulb or the glow of a distant fire adds texture and mood, often becoming a visual metaphor for instability or hope. In indoor settings, controlled lighting shapes spaces to reflect psychological states, from oppressive darkness to tentative illumination. Visual effects are employed with restraint but precision. Atmospheric elements such as fog, smoke, and rain are used not merely for spectacle but to enhance mood and narrative meaning. For example, rain scenes convey cleansing and emotional release, while mist-shrouded streets evoke mystery and uncertainty. These effects interact seamlessly with practical lighting and camera work, creating cohesive and immersive environments. Sound design complements the visual storytelling, creating an aural landscape that breathes life into settings. The ambient noises of city life, distant traffic, murmured conversations, clattering machinery, are layered with subtle musical cues and environmental sounds. This interplay envelopes viewers, heightening immersion and emotional engagement. Moments of silence or muted sound punctuate tension and focus attention on critical narrative beats. The film's editing rhythm works hand in hand with its cinematic elements. Pacing shifts fluidly to match the mood, rapid cuts during chase scenes amplify adrenaline, while longer takes during emotional exchanges foster intimacy. Transitions between scenes are crafted to maintain narrative coherence while enhancing thematic resonance, often using visual motifs or sound bridges to connect disparate locations or moments. Symbolism is embedded within the film's settings and visual design. Urban decay symbolizes moral erosion and lost hope, while moments of light breaking through darkness signify revelation and resilience. The contrast between confined spaces and open vistas mirrors characters' internal states and narrative trajectories. These symbolic layers invite viewers to engage beyond surface events, enriching the cinematic experience. Ultimately, the film's settings and cinematic elements form a symbiotic relationship with the story. They create a textured, immersive world that not only frames the action but amplifies themes and emotions. Through masterful use of location, light, color, and sound, the film crafts an atmosphere that is visceral and evocative, inviting viewers to inhabit its universe fully. This holistic approach transforms the viewing experience into a journey through shadows and light, decay and renewal, danger and fleeting moments of grace. It reminds us that in cinema, the world on screen is as vital as the characters who inhabit it, a living canvas that reflects and shapes the stories we tell about ourselves and the worlds we navigate. The making of this film was much more than a sequence of scenes pieced together. It was a living, breathing experience shaped by the collective spirit of everyone involved, where laughter, sweat, tension, and triumph intermingled to forge something greater than the sum of its parts. Behind the polished images and gripping performances lay a world bustling with energy, surprises, and moments of camaraderie that enriched the production and deepened the connection between cast, crew, and story. From the earliest days on set, the atmosphere was one of eager collaboration. The director, known for fostering a supportive environment, encouraged input from every department, believing that the best creativity arises from shared ideas and mutual respect. This openness manifested in daily interactions that ranged from intense creative discussions to lighthearted banter, creating a dynamic workplace where people felt empowered to bring their whole selves to the project. One of the first challenges faced by the team was adapting to the demanding shooting locations. Filming took place in crowded urban districts, industrial wastelands, and narrow alleys, environments alive with unpredictable elements, pedestrians, weather, and the ambient noise of the city. These real-world settings brought authenticity but also logistical hurdles. Coordinating shoots around daily life required patience and ingenuity. These real-world settings brought authenticity but also logistical hurdles. Coordinating shoots around daily life required patience and ingenuity. In one memorable instance, a key scene scheduled for a quiet street had to be delayed repeatedly due to an impromptu street festival. Rather than grow frustrated, the crew embraced the unexpected, weaving the festival's colors and sounds into the background, turning a potential setback into a vibrant part of the film's texture. The cast's interactions off-camera added warmth and depth to the production experience. Between takes, actors would gather to rehearse lines, exchange insights about their characters, or simply share stories from their lives. The lead actor, known for his dedication, would sometimes stay late to practice fight choreography with stunt coordinators, encouraging less experienced cast members to join. These informal sessions became moments of bonding and skill building, enhancing on-screen chemistry and mutual trust. A particularly heartwarming anecdote involves the spontaneous formation of a musical group among crew members during long night shoots. Using whatever instruments they could find, empty bottles, metal pipes, even old cameras, they created impromptu rhythms that echoed through the studio. This makeshift band brought moments of joy and relaxation, helping to ease the physical and emotional toll of demanding schedules. The director occasionally joined these sessions, further breaking down hierarchical barriers and fostering a sense of family. Physical challenges were constant companions. The film's intense action sequences required stamina and precision. The stunt team meticulously rehearsed complicated moves, often in difficult weather conditions or constrained spaces. The lead actor's commitment to performing many stunts himself sometimes led to minor injuries, which the team managed with professionalism and care. During one particularly grueling rooftop fight scene, sudden gusts of wind threatened safety, prompting quick adaptations and reinforced safety measures. These experiences underscored the crew's resilience and dedication. Technical hurdles also tested creativity. Early attempts at certain camera angles and lighting setups revealed limitations that necessitated on-the-fly problem-solving. For example, a night scene intended to be bathed in soft moonlight was hampered by inconsistent weather. The cinematography team devised an innovative solution using portable LED arrays combined with reflective surfaces to mimic natural moonlight, maintaining continuity and atmosphere. This adaptability exemplified the production's resourcefulness. Makeup and prosthetics departments faced demanding schedules to maintain continuity and realism. Actors portraying wounded or weathered characters often endured long hours in the makeup chair. One story recalls a prosthetic piece that required delicate adjustment after an actor inadvertently damaged it during a stunt, leading to a midnight repair session that became a bonding moment for the team. Such dedication ensured that visual authenticity was preserved without compromising actor comfort. Behind the scenes, the production was peppered with moments of humor and lightheartedness that balanced the intensity. During breaks, cast members would share jokes, play pranks, or improvise dialogues, creating an atmosphere of camaraderie. The lead actor's penchant for mimicry and impressions was a recurring source of laughter, breaking tension and fostering connection. These human moments, often invisible to the audience, were vital to sustaining morale. The director's approach was characterized by openness to experimentation. On several occasions, unscripted moments born from actor improvisation were embraced and incorporated into the final film. This fluidity allowed scenes to evolve organically, adding authenticity and surprise. One such moment involved an offhand line delivered in a tense scene that resonated so strongly it became a defining character trait. Post-production introduced its own challenges and creative triumphs. The editing team worked closely with the director to balance pacing and tone, blending frenetic action with introspective moments. Late-night editing sessions often stretched into early mornings, marked by intense collaboration and spirited debate. Sound designers crafted layered soundscapes that deepened immersion, experimenting with natural and synthetic sources to reflect the film's atmospheric shifts. Marketing and promotional activities extended the behind-the-scenes narrative. Cast and crew participated in interviews and fan events, sharing stories and engaging with audiences. These interactions highlighted the human effort behind the spectacle, building rapport and anticipation. The film's release was accompanied by behind-the-scenes documentaries that showcased the production's challenges and joys, further enriching viewer appreciation. Looking back, many involved described the production as transformative, both artistically and personally. The experience of working in such a collaborative and dynamic environment forged lasting relationships and inspired future creative endeavors. The blend of struggle and celebration, discipline and spontaneity, defines the film's legacy not only on screen but in the hearts of those who made it. Ultimately, these behind-the-scenes insights reveal cinema as a communal art form, a process shaped by countless individuals whose talents, perseverance, and humanity infuse stories with life. The laughter shared, obstacles overcome, and moments of inspiration all ripple through the final film, reminding us that every frame carries the weight and warmth of human endeavor. Through these stories, we glimpse the soul of filmmaking, a journey as compelling and complex as the stories told. The film is far more than a straightforward tale of conflict and survival. It is a rich meditation on the human condition, layered with themes and symbols that resonate long after the credits roll. At its core, the story wrestles with questions of identity, loyalty, and the fragile boundaries between vengeance and justice. These thematic currents ripple beneath the surface, shaping characters' journeys and imbuing the narrative with emotional and philosophical depth. To truly appreciate the film is to explore these layers, how they unfold through plot and performance, and how the filmmakers use symbolism to articulate the unspoken. One of the most prominent themes is the duality of human nature. The protagonist embodies this tension, a man torn between light and shadow, hope and despair, strength and vulnerability. This duality is mirrored throughout the film, reflected in relationships, settings, and moral choices. The story refuses to present simple binaries. Instead, it embraces complexity, acknowledging that good and evil often coexist within individuals and communities. This exploration challenges audiences to look beyond surface actions and consider motivations and contradictions that shape behavior. Loyalty and betrayal weave tightly through the narrative, forming both bonds and fractures among characters. The film delves into the costs of allegiance, how loyalty can be a source of strength but also a chain that binds and blinds. Characters are often forced to navigate shifting alliances, where trust is a precious commodity and betrayal can come from the closest quarters. This theme is embodied in pivotal plot twists, where hidden motives surface and relationships are tested. The emotional resonance of these moments lies in their grounding in human experience, the pain of broken trust and the longing for connection. The pursuit of justice versus vengeance is another core theme that permeates the film. The protagonist's journey illustrates the fine line between these impulses, examining how grief and anger can propel one toward retribution that blurs moral clarity. The narrative raises questions about the nature of justice. Is it an ideal to aspire to or a tool wielded by the powerful? The film does not provide easy answers but instead invites reflection on the consequences of choices made in the shadow of loss and betrayal. Resilience and redemption emerge as powerful undercurrents. Despite the violence and hardship, the story holds space for transformation. Characters who endure, learn, and seek forgiveness. Moments of vulnerability reveal the possibility of healing amid trauma, suggesting that even in fractured worlds, hope persists. This theme offers a counterpoint to the harshness of conflict, adding emotional complexity and humanizing characters who might otherwise be seen only as warriors or victims. Symbolism enriches these themes, providing a visual and narrative language that deepens meaning. The film employs recurring motifs that speak to identity and change. Shattered glass, reflections, and mirrors symbolize fragmentation and self-examination. Characters often encounter literal or figurative reflections, prompting moments of reckoning with fractured selves and hidden truths. This use of symbolism invites viewers to engage actively, reading beyond dialogue into layered imagery. Light and shadow function as potent symbols throughout. The interplay between illumination and darkness underscores moral ambiguity, emotional struggle, and revelation. Scenes bathed in shadow evoke fear, secrecy, or despair, while bursts of light suggest clarity, hope, or transformation. This visual dichotomy enhances narrative tension and character development, making the environment a mirror to internal states. Water imagery recurs, symbolizing cleansing, change, and emotional depth. Rain, rivers, and puddles appear at critical junctures, moments of crisis or catharsis, suggesting the fluidity of identity and the possibility of renewal. These elements connect the physical world to the emotional landscape, reinforcing themes of resilience and rebirth. The urban decay depicted throughout serves as a broader metaphor for societal fragmentation and neglect. The crumbling buildings and derelict spaces reflect not only physical ruin but also the erosion of social bonds and moral structures. This setting anchors the film's themes in a tangible reality, reminding viewers that the characters' struggles occur within contexts shaped by history and power. Color symbolism adds another layer of meaning. The muted palette, grays, blues, and browns, evokes desolation and weariness, while occasional flashes of red or gold punctuate moments of passion, violence, or revelation. These choices guide emotional tone and underscore thematic shifts, subtly influencing viewer perception. The film's soundscape and score also contribute symbolically. The use of silence, ambient noise, and musical motifs mirror emotional undercurrents and narrative transitions. For example, moments of quiet often precede significant events, creating tension and anticipation. The music's evolving themes parallel character arcs, weaving emotional continuity throughout. The characters' journeys embody and illuminate these themes and symbols. The protagonists struggle with identity, balancing past and present, violence and compassion, reflects the film's meditation on duality and transformation. Supporting characters personify facets of loyalty, betrayal, and redemption, their interactions and choices enriching the thematic tapestry. Their conflicts and alliances dramatize the tensions between survival and morality. Key plot events resonate with thematic significance. Betrayals fracture trust, forcing reassessments of loyalty and selfhood. Moments of confrontation and violence raise ethical questions about justice and vengeance. Instances of reconciliation and sacrifice highlight the possibility of healing. Each event is carefully woven to deepen emotional impact and provoke reflection. The film's resolution encapsulates its thematic core. Rather than offering tidy closure, it embraces ambiguity and complexity, acknowledging that identity, justice, and redemption are ongoing processes. The protagonist's final state, marked by change but tempered by loss, embodies this nuanced perspective, inviting viewers to carry forward the story's questions and insights. Ultimately, the film's exploration of themes and use of symbolism elevate it beyond a mere action narrative. It becomes a profound inquiry into the human psyche and society, a cinematic experience that challenges and moves. Through its layered storytelling, visual language, and emotional depth, the film invites audiences to engage fully, intellectually and emotionally, discovering meaning in shadows and light, conflict and connection. This thematic richness ensures the film's enduring resonance, making it a work that rewards repeated viewing and deep contemplation. It stands as a testament to cinema's power to reflect and shape our understanding of ourselves and the world, inviting us into stories that linger, challenge, and inspire long after the screen goes dark. The creation of this film was a masterclass in filmmaking craft, a delicate orchestration of technical prowess, artistic vision, and storytelling instinct that together shaped an immersive and unforgettable cinematic experience. Each element of production, from camera work and lighting to sound design and editing, was carefully calibrated to serve the narrative's emotional core and thematic complexity. This seamless integration of technique and story elevated the film beyond its genre, creating a mood and atmosphere that draws viewers into its world with visceral intensity and nuanced depth. Central to the film's visual storytelling is its cinematography, which balances realism with stylized expression to create a distinct aesthetic. The director of photography employed a varied palette of camera techniques tailored to the story's shifting tones. Fluid tracking shots glide alongside characters through crowded streets and claustrophobic interiors, conveying immediacy and tension. These dynamic movements contrast with moments of stillness, carefully composed static shots that invite contemplation and emphasize emotional beats. This interplay of motion and stillness mirrors the narrative's rhythms, guiding viewer engagement and emotional resonance. Lighting design was instrumental in shaping atmosphere and mood. The filmmakers favored naturalistic lighting whenever possible, harnessing the ambient glow of street lamps, neon signs, and sunlight filtering through urban canyons to ground scenes in palpable reality. This approach enhanced texture and depth, capturing the gritty surfaces and tactile details of the film's environments. In contrast, stylized lighting punctuates moments of heightened drama, sharp contrasts, shadows that cloak secrets, and bursts of color that signify emotional or narrative shifts. The careful modulation of light and shadow serves as a visual language, encoding character psychology and thematic tension. Color grading further refined the film's tone, applying a muted palette of earth tones, blues, and grays that evoke a world weathered by conflict and hardship. This subdued scheme underscores themes of decay and resilience, while strategic splashes of warm hues, fiery reds, golden glows, signal moments of passion, danger, or revelation. This visual coherence reinforces narrative arcs and emotional undercurrents, creating a cohesive and immersive aesthetic. Camera lenses and framing choices also contributed to storytelling. The use of shallow depth of field isolated characters within busy or desolate settings, visually articulating themes of alienation and focus. Wide-angle shots emphasized scale and vulnerability, situating individuals against sprawling urban landscapes or imposing industrial ruins. Close-ups captured subtle emotional shifts, lending intimacy and intensity to character moments. These deliberate framing decisions guided viewer attention and enriched narrative layers. Sound design was a cornerstone of the film's immersive power. The sound team crafted a complex auditory environment that envelopes viewers and enhances emotional impact. Ambient city noises, distant traffic, murmurs, mechanical hums, were recorded with precision and layered to create a living soundscape. These naturalistic elements were interwoven with synthetic textures and manipulated vocalizations to evoke mood and tension. Sound cues were timed meticulously to complement visual rhythms, amplifying suspense or underscoring emotional shifts. The musical score blended orchestral and electronic elements, crafting themes that evolved alongside character journeys. Driving rhythms propelled action sequences, while haunting melodies underscored introspective moments. The composer collaborated closely with the director and sound designers to ensure sonic and visual harmony, weaving motifs that reinforced narrative cohesion. Strategic use of silence and ambient sound punctuated key scenes, heightening anticipation and focus. Editing shaped narrative flow and emotional pacing with skill and sensitivity. The editor balanced rapid cuts during frenetic sequences with longer takes that allowed emotion and tension to unfold. Non-linear narrative elements, flashbacks, parallel action, were woven seamlessly, aided by visual and auditory transitions that oriented viewers. The editing rhythm mirrored the story's thematic tensions, guiding audiences through complexity without confusion. Visual effects were integrated judiciously to enhance realism and spectacle without overwhelming the story. Practical effects and CGI worked in concert, with careful attention to texture, lighting, and movement. This hybrid approach preserved tactile authenticity while expanding imaginative possibilities. Effects sequences, explosions, environmental transformations, character modifications, were choreographed to serve narrative and emotional needs, maintaining immersion and believability. Production design complemented cinematic techniques, creating environments that embodied themes and character psychology. Sets combined found materials and constructed elements to evoke decay, resilience, and fractured identity. Props and costumes were chosen to reinforce visual motifs and narrative context, supporting storytelling on multiple levels. The film's box office production was marked by strategic planning and marketing that capitalized on its artistic strengths. The release timing targeted peak audience engagement periods, while promotional materials highlighted both action and emotional depth to attract diverse viewers. Early screenings and festival showings generated critical buzz, amplified by social media campaigns that shared behind-the-scenes content and interactive experiences. This multifaceted approach fostered anticipation and broadened appeal. Commercially, the film performed strongly, resonating with audiences who praised its blend of thrilling spectacle and substantive storytelling. Box office numbers reflected successful penetration in domestic and international markets, bolstered by positive word-of-mouth and critical acclaim. Ancillary revenue streams, including streaming, merchandise, and tie-ins, further extended the film's reach and cultural impact. Retrospectives and industry analyses highlight the film's filmmaking techniques as benchmarks in the genre. Its integration of visual, auditory, and narrative elements is celebrated for advancing cinematic language, inspiring subsequent productions. The collaboration between director, cinematographer, editor, and sound team is noted as exemplary, demonstrating the power of cohesive vision and craftsmanship. In conclusion, the film's artistry lies in its meticulous melding of technique and story. Cinematography, lighting, sound, editing, and effects converge to create a world that is vivid, immersive, and emotionally resonant. This synergy shapes an experience that captivates senses and minds, transforming a narrative of conflict and survival into a profound exploration of identity, loyalty, and redemption. The film stands as a testament to the transformative power of filmmaking, the ability to craft worlds that reflect and illuminate the complexities of the human experience. In the tapestry of this film's creation and reception, the voices of those who inhabited its world, the cast, and the echoes from its viewers weave together to form a living dialogue, a dynamic interplay of performance and perception that breathes life into the narrative beyond the screen. To understand the full dimension of this cinematic journey is to delve into the hearts and minds of the actors who became these characters, the creative forces guiding them, and the audiences whose interpretations and emotions transformed the story into a shared experience. At the forefront stands the lead actor, whose portrayal anchors the film with a potent blend of intensity, vulnerability, and nuance. From the earliest rehearsals to the final takes, his immersion into the role was marked by dedication and introspection. In interviews, he reflects candidly on the physical and emotional demands of embodying a character so deeply scarred by conflict and internal struggle. He speaks of long hours spent exploring the protagonist's psyche, working closely with the director to peel back layers of motivation and contradiction. This commitment is evident in the film's intimate moments, glances, gestures, silences, that convey volumes beyond scripted dialogue. The actor's preparation included rigorous physical training, stunt rehearsals, and research into the social and psychological contexts that shaped his character. He recounts spending time in environments similar to those depicted on screen, seeking authenticity in mannerisms and reactions. This immersion extended to building rapport with fellow cast members, fostering chemistry that translates into believable relationships. His approach blends methodical craft with spontaneity, embracing moments of improvisation that enriched scenes with emotional truth. Equally vital is the voice and presence of the film's antagonist, portrayed with layered complexity that defies cliché. Interviews reveal the actor's fascination with exploring the character's moral ambiguity, an adversary driven not by simple malice but by pain, ambition, and a twisted sense of purpose. He describes delving into the psychological underpinnings of villainy, finding humanity within darkness. This nuanced portrayal challenges viewers to grapple with uncomfortable truths about power, loss, and obsession, elevating the film's thematic depth. Supporting actors contribute richly to the ensemble, embodying diverse perspectives and emotional textures. Key female roles are portrayed with strength and sensitivity, offering counterpoints to the protagonist's journey and enriching the narrative's emotional fabric. These actresses discuss the importance of representing multifaceted women within a genre often dominated by spectacle, emphasizing agency, resilience, and emotional complexity. Their interviews highlight collaborative processes, rehearsals, and moments of breakthrough that shaped their characters. Behind the camera, the director and creative team provide insights into casting choices and performance development. The director emphasizes the search for actors capable of navigating the film's tonal shifts, from gritty realism to moments of poetic intensity. Collaborative rehearsals fostered an environment of trust and experimentation, allowing actors to explore and deepen their portrayals. These interactions shaped character dynamics, dialogue delivery, and emotional rhythms, contributing to the film's immersive quality. The chemistry among cast members is often cited as a key strength. Off-camera interactions, shared meals, rehearsals, and downtime built bonds that translated into authentic relationships on screen. Anecdotes recount moments of humor, support, and challenge that enriched the production experience. The lead actor's mentorship of younger cast members and the ensemble's collective commitment fostered a spirit of unity amid demanding schedules. Audience reception has been vibrant and multifaceted. Early screenings sparked enthusiastic responses, applause, emotional engagement, and spirited discussion. Viewers connected with the protagonist's struggles, finding echoes of their own experiences in themes of loyalty, loss, and resilience. Social media and fan forums buzzed with analysis, favorite scenes, and character debates, creating a participatory culture around the film. Fans praised the balance of action and emotional depth, highlighting performances that transcended genre expectations. Critical reviews often focus on the cast's ability to anchor complex themes with compelling performances. The lead actor's portrayal is lauded for its authenticity and emotional range, while the antagonist's nuanced villainy receives recognition for adding moral complexity. Female performances are celebrated for bringing layered perspectives and emotional resonance. Ensemble dynamics and chemistry are noted as elevating the narrative, fostering investment in character fates. Fan communities have expanded the film's universe through art, fiction, and analysis. Conventions and panels featuring cast and crew deepen engagement, offering opportunities for dialogue and shared celebration. Interviews at these events reveal personal reflections on roles, character journeys, and audience impact, enriching the film's cultural footprint. The ongoing dialogue between creators and audiences shapes the film's legacy. Cast members reflect on how portraying these characters influenced their own artistic growth and perspectives. Audiences continue to find meaning and inspiration, engaging with themes that resonate across cultures and experiences. This dynamic exchange exemplifies cinema's power to connect individuals through shared stories. In essence, the cast's performances and the audience's responses form a living conversation that extends the film's life beyond its runtime. The intimate portrayals invite empathy and reflection, while diverse interpretations keep the narrative vibrant and relevant. This interplay between creation and reception underscores the film's enduring impact as both art and experience, a story alive in hearts and minds. The journey we've taken through this film has been as intricate and layered as the story itself, a vivid exploration of identity, power, and the uneasy dance between chaos and control. We began by stepping into the shoes of a man split between worlds, human and alien, bound to a symbiote whose presence is as much a source of conflict as it is of strength. From that intimate union sprang a narrative that bursts with action, humor, and profound emotional complexity, inviting us to consider the multiplicities within ourselves and the spaces we inhabit. We unravel the plot's winding paths, from frenetic battles that test physical and psychological limits to quieter, poignant moments where vulnerability and connection emerge amid the turmoil. Each sequence revealed facets of the characters' evolving relationships, the shifting alliances that complicate notions of friend and foe, and the cosmic stakes that elevate personal struggles into mythic dimensions. The narrative's pacing, a masterful balance of intensity and reflection, kept us tethered to the emotional core while delivering spectacle and surprise. Diving deeper, we examined the characters who populate this world, the conflicted protagonist wrestling with internal and external demons, the alien symbiote whose unpredictable nature challenges and sustains him, and the antagonist who embodies chaos and destruction yet reveals tragic depths. Their interactions breathe life into themes of duality, transformation, and coexistence, transcending genre conventions to probe the very essence of identity and belonging. Our exploration of themes and symbolism uncovered rich veins woven throughout the film: light and shadow, fluidity and solidity, isolation and connection, each visual and narrative motif amplifying the emotional and philosophical resonance. The symbiotes themselves emerge as metaphors for the alien within, the unconscious self, and the complex dance of integration and difference that defines existence. Behind the scenes, we glimpse the remarkable artistry and human dedication that crafted this cinematic world. The innovative blend of practical effects, cutting-edge CGI, and physical performances brought the symbiotes to stunning life, while cinematography and sound design enveloped us in immersive atmospheres that pulse with tension and beauty. Stories from the set, of improvisation, camaraderie, and overcoming challenges, reveal the spirit that animated the production, infusing the film with authenticity and heart. The voices of the cast and the vibrant chorus of audience reactions add yet another dimension. Performances that balance power and vulnerability drew viewers into the emotional labyrinth, sparking passionate discourse and personal reflection. The dialogue between creators and fans continues to enrich the film's legacy, transforming it into a shared cultural experience that resonates across time and space. In sum, this film stands as a testament to the transformative power of cinema, a medium that can blend spectacle with intimacy, myth with human truth, and alien worlds with familiar emotions. It challenges us to embrace complexity, to see ourselves in the other, and to find meaning in the dance of light and shadow that shapes our lives. Its layered storytelling invites repeated viewing and reflection, promising new insights with every encounter. If this exploration has deepened your appreciation for the art and craft behind the film, if it has sparked curiosity to uncover the hidden layers within your favorite stories, then there is so much more waiting for you. Our channel is dedicated to journeys like this, diving beneath the surface to illuminate the cinematic gems that shape our imaginations and touch our hearts. So, if you hunger for insights that reveal the magic behind the movies, if you seek narratives that challenge and inspire, if you want to be part of a community that celebrates storytelling in all its richness, then hit subscribe. Join us as we continue to explore films that shape culture, provoke thought, and move us deeply. Thank you for sharing this journey. Until the next film beckons us forward, keep watching with curiosity, keep feeling with openness, and keep discovering the stories that make us who we are. The journey we've taken through this film has been as intricate and layered as the story itself, a vivid exploration of identity, power, and the uneasy dance between chaos and control. We began by stepping into the shoes of a man split between worlds, human and alien, bound to a symbiote whose presence is as much a source of conflict as it is of strength. From that intimate union sprang a narrative that bursts with action, humor, and profound emotional complexity, inviting us to consider the multiplicities within ourselves and the spaces we inhabit. We unravel the plot's winding paths, from frenetic battles that test physical and psychological limits to quieter, poignant moments where vulnerability and connection emerge amid the turmoil. Each sequence revealed facets of the characters' evolving relationships, the shifting alliances that complicate notions of friend and foe, and the cosmic stakes that elevate personal struggles into mythic dimensions. The narrative's pacing, a masterful balance of intensity and reflection, kept us tethered to the emotional core while delivering spectacle and surprise. Diving deeper, we examined the characters who populate this world, the conflicted protagonist wrestling with internal and external demons, the alien symbiote whose unpredictable nature challenges and sustains him, and the antagonist who embodies chaos and destruction yet reveals tragic depths. Their interactions breathe life into themes of duality, transformation, and coexistence, transcending genre conventions to probe the very essence of identity and belonging. Our exploration of themes and symbolism uncovered rich veins woven throughout the film: light and shadow, fluidity and solidity, isolation and connection, each visual and narrative motif amplifying the emotional and philosophical resonance. The symbiotes themselves emerge as metaphors for the alien within, the unconscious self, and the complex dance of integration and difference that defines existence. Behind the scenes, we glimpse the remarkable artistry and human dedication that crafted this cinematic world. The innovative blend of practical effects, cutting-edge CGI, and physical performances brought the symbiotes to stunning life, while cinematography and sound design enveloped us in immersive atmospheres that pulse with tension and beauty. Stories from the set, of improvisation, camaraderie, and overcoming challenges, reveal the spirit that animated the production, infusing the film with authenticity and heart. The voices of the cast and the vibrant chorus of audience reactions add yet another dimension. Performances that balance power and vulnerability drew viewers into the emotional labyrinth, sparking passionate discourse and personal reflection. The dialogue between creators and fans continues to enrich the film's legacy, transforming it into a shared cultural experience that resonates across time and space. In sum, this film stands as a testament to the transformative power of cinema, a medium that can blend spectacle with intimacy, myth with human truth, and alien worlds with familiar emotions. It challenges us to embrace complexity, to see ourselves in the other, and to find meaning in the dance of light and shadow that shapes our lives. Its layered storytelling invites repeated viewing and reflection, promising new insights with every encounter. If this exploration has deepened your appreciation for the art and craft behind the film, if it has sparked curiosity to uncover the hidden layers within your favorite stories, then there is so much more waiting for you. Our channel is dedicated to journeys like this, diving beneath the surface to illuminate the cinematic gems that shape our imaginations and touch our hearts. So, if you hunger for insights that reveal the magic behind the movies, if you seek narratives that challenge and inspire, if you want to be part of a community that celebrates storytelling in all its richness, then hit subscribe. Join us as we continue to explore films that shape culture, provoke thought, and move us deeply. Thank you for sharing this journey. Until the next film beckons us forward, keep watching with curiosity, keep feeling with openness, and keep discovering the stories that make us who we are. Beyond just entertainment, films like this invite us to hold space for complexity. They remind us that life is rarely black and white, but rather a tapestry woven from contradictions and struggles. They call us to empathy and understanding, to appreciate the multifaceted nature of human experience. Through characters who are flawed yet striving, worlds that are harsh yet beautiful, and stories that are violent yet deeply humane, cinema reaches into our hearts and minds, challenging us to grow. In following this film's journey, from its gritty streets to its cosmic battlegrounds, we are invited to confront our own shadows and light, to embrace the uncertain and the mysterious within ourselves and others. This is the power of storytelling at its finest, to transform, to connect, and to endure. So as you step away from this exploration, carry with you not just memories of thrilling action and dramatic twists, but the deeper questions it raises, the nature of identity, the cost of revenge, and the enduring hope for redemption. These are the threads that bind us all, woven through stories across time and place. And as we prepare to meet again for new cinematic adventures, remember, every film is a doorway into another world, another soul, another truth. Thank you for walking this path with us. Until next time, keep watching, keep wondering, and keep feeling deeply. In the tapestry of this film's creation and reception, the voices of those who inhabited its world, the cast, and the echoes from its viewers weave together to form a living dialogue, a dynamic interplay of performance and perception that breathes life into the narrative beyond the screen. To understand the full dimension of this cinematic journey is to delve into the hearts and minds of the actors who became these characters, the creative forces guiding them, and the audiences whose interpretations and emotions transformed the story into a shared experience. At the forefront stands the lead actor, whose portrayal anchors the film with a potent blend of intensity, vulnerability, and nuance. From the earliest rehearsals to the final takes, his immersion into the role was marked by dedication and introspection. In interviews, he reflects candidly on the physical and emotional demands of embodying a character so deeply scarred by conflict and internal struggle. He speaks of long hours spent exploring the protagonist's psyche, working closely with the director to peel back layers of motivation and contradiction. This commitment is evident in the film's intimate moments, glances, gestures, silences, that convey volumes beyond scripted dialogue. The actor's preparation included rigorous physical training, stunt rehearsals, and research into the social and psychological contexts that shaped his character. He recounts spending time in environments similar to those depicted on screen, seeking authenticity in mannerisms and reactions. This immersion extended to building rapport with fellow cast members, fostering chemistry that translates into believable relationships. His approach blends methodical craft with spontaneity, embracing moments of improvisation that enriched scenes with emotional truth. Equally vital is the voice and presence of the film's antagonist, portrayed with layered complexity that defies cliché. Interviews reveal the actor's fascination with exploring the character's moral ambiguity, an adversary driven not by simple malice but by pain, ambition, and a twisted sense of purpose. He describes delving into the psychological underpinnings of villainy, finding humanity within darkness. This nuanced portrayal challenges viewers to grapple with uncomfortable truths about power, loss, and obsession, elevating the film's thematic depth. Supporting actors contribute richly to the ensemble, embodying diverse perspectives and emotional textures. Key female roles are portrayed with strength and sensitivity, offering counterpoints to the protagonist's journey and enriching the narrative's emotional fabric. These actresses discuss the importance of representing multifaceted women within a genre often dominated by spectacle, emphasizing agency, resilience, and emotional complexity. Their interviews highlight collaborative processes, rehearsals, and moments of breakthrough that shape their characters. Behind the camera, the director and creative team provide insights into casting choices and performance development. The director emphasizes the search for actors capable of navigating the film's tonal shifts, from gritty realism to moments of poetic intensity. Collaborative rehearsals fostered an environment of trust and experimentation, allowing actors to explore and deepen their portrayals. These interactions shaped character dynamics, dialogue delivery, and emotional rhythms, contributing to the film's immersive quality. The chemistry among cast members is often cited as a key strength. Off-camera interactions, shared meals, rehearsals, and downtime built bonds that translated into authentic relationships on screen. Anecdotes recount moments of humor, support, and challenge that enriched the production experience. The lead actor's mentorship of younger cast members and the ensemble's collective commitment fostered a spirit of unity amid demanding schedules. Audience reception has been vibrant and multifaceted. Early screenings sparked enthusiastic responses, applause, emotional engagement, and spirited discussion. Viewers connected with the protagonist's struggles, finding echoes of their own experiences in themes of loyalty, loss, and resilience. Social media and fan forums buzzed with analysis, favorite scenes, and character debates, creating a participatory culture around the film. Fans praised the balance of action and emotional depth, highlighting performances that transcended genre expectations. Critical reviews often focus on the cast's ability to anchor complex themes with compelling performances. The lead actor's portrayal is lauded for its authenticity and emotional range, while the antagonist's nuanced villainy receives recognition for adding moral complexity. Female performances are celebrated for bringing layered perspectives and emotional resonance. Ensemble dynamics and chemistry are noted as elevating the narrative, fostering investment in character fates. Fan communities have expanded the film's universe through art, fiction, and analysis. Conventions and panels featuring cast and crew deepen engagement, offering opportunities for dialogue and shared celebration. Interviews at these events reveal personal reflections on roles, character journeys, and audience impact, enriching the film's cultural footprint. The ongoing dialogue between creators and audiences shapes the film's legacy. Cast members reflect on how portraying these characters influenced their own artistic growth and perspectives. Audiences continue to find meaning and inspiration, engaging with themes that resonate across cultures and experiences. This dynamic exchange exemplifies cinema's power to connect individuals through shared stories. In essence, the cast's performances and the audience's responses form a living conversation that extends the film's life beyond its runtime. The intimate portrayals invite empathy and reflection, while diverse interpretations keep the narrative vibrant and relevant. This interplay between creation and reception underscores the film's enduring impact as both art and experience, a story alive in hearts and minds.